Slam Record Label Group, a Chuck D situation. Catch us on your favorite streaming platform, on Bandcamp, or visit our official web store at spitslamrecords.com. All releases are available digitally or on CD, with select titles available on vinyl and cassette. The Slam Record Label Group. Throwback to the future sound.
Yeah, there's no opening credits or anything for this, whatever, our listening parties. I got to fix that at some point in time. But welcome to everybody. I'm joined with by my esteemed guests. And of course, you know, my regular co-host, Ultramag 7, but also in the house tonight, DJ M-Rock, Half Pint, Al J, Phil Most Chill. I see Vashon's in there. I see Too Tough was here 7 hours ago. That's okay.
It's like the Hollywood Squares right now.
Exactly. Right. We'll fill it up. And Miranda Rice just showed up. So
Hey,
Word up.
what are you doing?
I'm
Now
feeling
this
that
is a
handle.
Friday.
Miranda Rice.
Right.
I'm feeling that.
That's a dope name. That's a
I'm
dope
feeling
name.
that.
That's a dope name.
Appreciate that. What's up, y'all? How we
Peace,
feeling?
my
Happy
sister. How you
Friday.
doing?
Yeah, happy release date, everybody.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Long time coming
Mhm.
for this record. Long time for even longer time for me, but long time for all of us. Yeah, because it's funny. If you on my computer, if you look at the folder that has all the music in it, it's actually called Chuck D 2021. So that's yeah, that's when I started this.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, that's when I started this whole thing. But you know, you guys came in later on when we figured out what the record was going to be. But yes, today is the release, obviously, of Chuck's new album that was originally supposed to be just called Enemy Radio. Radio Armageddon was the title of the album. But Def Jam wanted an official Chuck D album. And so that therefore became Chuck D Presents Enemy Radio, Radio Armageddon. The long story. The long and the
Def
short.
Jam release though, you know?
A Def Jam release though, you know, yes.
Yep. Look at that. That's it.
Right?
I'm honored to just be a part of it. The whole project from top to finish is amazing. Just every song is powerful. Like it really is a dope. Like I said, I'm just honored to be a small part of it. But you know, it's amazing.
No, I'm happy to have all of you guys on it, honestly, because when it started, you know, we didn't know what it was going to be. Chuck had ideas and he had songs. I sent him some beats and he recorded to them. And I listened to them and I'm like, these beats are terrible. And I'm going to have to redo all of them. And so he was gracious enough to record to my shitty beats. And yeah, but it took a while to figure it out. I will tell you guys the quick history. Originally, this was going to be a Chuck D solo album, just him by himself, and we were going to call it "No Country for Old Men." That was going to be the title of it.
That would have been dope.
That sounds dope.
Right? So, and actually, in my archive somewhere, there's mock-ups of cover art for that album that never happened.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
After a while, but we were still planning on doing it through Def Jam because he had for those who might remember, might not know, the last Public Enemy album we did was called "What You Gonna Do When the Grid Goes Down," and that was back in 2020, and we released it through Def Jam. Had a good experience with them, and so they wanted to continue working with Chuck. And so he said, okay, well, you know, I'll do a solo record. So luckily for this album and the form that it is now, I couldn't wrap my head around it. I couldn't quite figure it out. And so it dragged on and on and on. And Chuck wrote more songs and I reconfigured some of the beats. But then eventually he said, I don't want this to be a Chuck D album, I want it to be, maybe an Enemy Radio album. And so I was like, okay, we had done an Enemy Radio album in 2020 as well. We'd released it independently. And it was Chuck and DJ Lord and MC Jahi from the Bay Area. And the S1Ws, they had done some shows. And we did the record. And these were songs that were left over that he had pitched to his former band, Prophets of Rage, that had broken up.
Oh, yeah.
And he had all these songs left over. PE wasn't doing anything at the moment. And so he said, well, let's do this thing. We'll call it Enemy Radio. And I'll bring Jahi in. And he just sent me all the acapellas of the stuff that they were basically Prophets of Rage demos for the second album that never happened. And so we put that record together. Great experience with it. But in this case, when we came back on Enemy Radio, Jahi had moved on to do some other things. And so I said, well, what's it going to be? And he said, well, why don't we just bring in Spit Slam people to fill in the gaps? And I was like, okay, well then let's do that. And that's how this iteration of Enemy Radio got started. So hang on a sec. I got to kick my dog out. I'll be right back.
Poor dog.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, my sister, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Queen?
I am doing well. We got to get together. We got to link up.
Absolutely. Your verse was like all the inspiration I needed. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I see your work. And
Century of the System. Yeah.
I love that
fantastic
track.
work. Both of you ladies did incredible. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah. It's my favorite track on the whole album.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
100%.
Thank you, guys. That means a lot coming
That's one
from
of
all
my
the talents in the
standout
room.
Absolutely.
Half pint, I got a video for you for your verse. I got you.
And by the way,
Thank you,
Miranda,
my brother.
Come on, Miranda. I'm gonna have to do one for you too.
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
by the way, Miranda, I've heard about you for years. I know your aunt Steph up in Harrisburg.
Oh,
Aunt
really?
Stephanie. Yeah, she's a good friend of mine. She told me about you years ago.
Amazing.
So it's a pleasure to finally meet you and everything. She said you were dope, and she's right. You're very dope. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Likewise.
Yeah.
It's like it's such a big but small world. Like
yeah,
when you really think about it, it's like even just how everything always comes full circle. And this was very much a full circle moment for me because just, obviously Chuck being who he is, but just for the culture. And like when I first started seeing, that was really what I was doing. Like in New York City, I was just going to every park jam, every hip hop event that I could find. That was just what I was doing. It was just like, and it was just like that raw culture element, right? You really did have like your 5 elements of hip hop. You had people on the mic, you had people DJing, you had people breaking, you had people doing graffiti. And I remember meeting Chuck for the first time like years ago when I had met Keith Shockley. And that was how that connection started. So for me, this is just like, I'm like, I can't believe it went from just, I always just say like, wow, like I literally just started doing this in my bedroom one day. And like now look at it, so I'm just thankful. And this was definitely, I've been celebrating this all day. I've been blasting it to people all day. I'm like, listen to this. I made it.
Yes, you did.
You did, my sister.
I think a lot of us are feeling that way right now.
I gotta say what up to Donald D in the house.
Yeah.
Hey,
Salute, my brother. How you doing?
Microphone
Hip
King
hop
Donald
guys,
D.
Donald D.
The original.
Peace to everybody in the place to be. I'm watching the Knicks, Celtics, and the Yankees Mets at the same time.
Oh, word.
Wow.
You're a madman.
See us rise, man.
I got a shout out.
Seized
Half
up here. Yo,
pint,
we seized up here.
half pint, legendary
Salute,
half
my
pint
brother.
from the Daughters of Berserk. No more son.
Oh, yeah.
What's
Thank
up,
you.
Miranda?
Listen, I salute
How you
my brother.
doing?
I salute you.
I'm good. Ultra, M Rock,
What's up,
Phil,
brother?
Most Chill,
What's up, man? What's
Al
up?
J. Kids,
Peace.
stick up.
Oh, yeah. Stick up 2025.
Yeah,
Coming soon.
it's
Ooh.
crazy. I don't work with 2 of y'all. I mean 3. Well, no, hold on. I did songs with C Doc, Half Pint, M-Rock, LJ. I haven't got with Phil yet, and Ultra Mag, and
You
Miranda.
gotta do that, man.
Gotta get with
Yeah.
Phil, yo.
Yeah, you can't leave us
Oh,
out.
come on, man. I heard that project with Phil and M-Rock, man. That shit is incredible.
Oh, thank you, man.
Thank you. Coming from you, that's high praise, man. I
Come on,
appreciate
man.
it.
You know, you took it back there, inspiring me to go back into the bank of reality, old school.
That's right.
You know?
No doubt. It's still dope. Like I told you, man, that the rhyme you did from the Fearless Four, oh, not Fearless Door, but the Fabulous 4 Days, man. It still sounds fresh
on the
today.
Chucks on the Enemy radio.
Yeah, man. It still sound fresh today.
Yeah, man. I went back, man. You know.
I love that you pulled that out the archives, Donald.
Yeah, man. I had to dig back into that Zulu beat time zone and listen to how it was flowing back in the 80s, 83 to be exact.
Yeah.
That's
sounds good. I got a lot more. I've been gonna add on some of these. I actually was listening to the beats that you sent me, see Doc, that M-Rock did that was supposed to be for Brother B.
Oh yeah, the Park
I've
Jam
been
joint.
listening, going through some of my old rhymes to put on his joints.
Yeah.
To give it that authentic feel with the echo chamber. Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
So there you go, M-Rock. You can make some more of those.
We are family.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, Half Pint. So when I was trying to assemble the Avengers, as it were, for this record, Half Pint was an obvious reach for that song, but I didn't want you to have to be the only lady in the room. I had to get you some support. So I hit up Daddy-O and I said, hey, I need a dope
Daddy-O
woman MC, female MC. What do you got? Who fits the bill? And he's like, he hit me back. He's like, Miranda Rights. That's who you need to get. I was like, oh,
right on
okay.
point, right on time.
Yeah.
Right on
I was
time.
like,
and shout out to Daddy-O.
Yeah, it was cool because there was no like, he's like, just see if she'll do it because that's who you need to get. I was like, okay.
Listen, it's an honor to be on that.
No, that's a love. That's a lot of love.
Yeah, and it's an honor to be on the record and to know I've been watching Miranda and I'm like, yo, this sister is dope.
Yeah.
And just to be able to be on a song and then, always, whenever you ask, no question asked. What you want me? What you need? What you got? I'm always with it. So it's an honor and it's definitely a privilege. Trust me when I tell you, I take nothing for granted, and I just appreciate the opportunity and to be able to add something to such a dope project because everybody on here is a legend. They're icons in their own right, and it's just a privilege. So I salute every artist on this project. It is a dope project, and I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Thank you, Half.
Absolutely. And shout outs to Daddy-O too, because he's another one. First of all, maybe after this live, he will release this record. We made a record together. It's called A Lot to Learn, and I'm still waiting to release this record. But it's so fly. Like there's nothing like it. It's like hip hop and like it has dance elements and it's really interesting. So hopefully, that'll come out. But it just goes to show how like the community is so strong because it takes a lot of love for like people to mention your names in other rooms that you're not in.
Yeah.
And that's powerful, so same thing. I'm just thankful. And then it creates other relationships because same thing with Half Pint is that I already knew who she was, but now we actually get to build a relationship together by being on a record together. And like what we were already saying, I'm like, well, let's do a song together. And I feel like that's the beauty of music is that collaboration is a very powerful thing. And like as artists, like our voice is really the only thing that we have that people can't take away from us. They can change everything else, but they can't change, that voice. So yeah, just full circle moment. And I'm just thankful to all the people who, put your names in other places because then we do things like this and it just sets the tone for everything else.
Yes.
True indeed.
Mm-hmm.
So Miranda, how did we meet? Let's see if you know that story.
Well, I met you way back in the Zulu event.
Are you sure?
I don't know if you remember. It was like an anniversary way back.
It was 2000s? Well, it has to be.
Well, I'm trying to think. The last big Zulu anniversary. I mean, we haven't thrown a big one like in years. So I'm trying to think of when I feel like that's when we first crossed paths though.
Okay. I'm thinking that we met during the pandemic with the project with Ice and Islam, Cool Lady Blue. No?
Yeah, but I knew, or maybe you didn't know me, but I knew you.
Okay.
Before that part. But I feel like there was like a moment though at the anniversary, which wouldn't be far-fetched because Islam, I mean, I think right now he's still on is he still on the West Coast right now, or is he in Germany? Where is he at?
In Thailand, I think, at this moment, or Berlin, one of the two.
Okay, well, that doesn't say he's wherever he wants to be. Yeah, but there was like a short period, same thing, where I met is way back. It was the same year that Ice performed. And I could have sworn that you were there at the anniversary. You probably don't remember it, but it was crazy. It was like one of those it was like one of the last few big anniversaries that they had.
2010, 9.
You talk about the one that was
No,
at the
I don't think it was
Johnson
that far
Theater?
back. But maybe, I don't know. You're gonna make me look up on Facebook now and go through my Facebook.
I think he performed at the Magic Johnson Theater in 20.
There.
I think.
No, because I remember I performed with your guys at SOB. I think it was the
right.
That was it. It was at SOB.
It was 2012.
Okay.
Was it that far back?
Because that was right before the Hip Hop Gods tour.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, because we did. That was November, and then right after that, like maybe a couple of weeks later, we were right on the road for the Hip Hop Gods tour. So that was 2012 at SOB. Yep.
Wow, I can't believe that was long ago.
That was an epic moment.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that was that long ago, but it had to have been there because I have a picture from that night with Ice.
Yep. Ice
so that had to have been it. Yeah. Yep. And Coco was there, so that had to have been it. Yeah, because SOBs was the same thing. That was a spot. A lot of the stuff for what they did.
Was up in there. Yep.
Mm-hmm. See, I told you, I knew you. You just didn't know me.
The first time I met Half Pint, we was on Public Enemy tour when they were on the tour. One of them bringing on, huh?
Oh, I know Apocalypse 91. Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yep. I was supposed to be in college. I'm supposed to be in school.
Right.
And on the basketball team, and I'm on tour.
Leaders of the New School was on that tour. Like,
yeah, we shared the tour bus with Leaders of the New School. That was. I remember it was us, Leaders of the New School, Tribe Called Quest.
Yep.
Ghetto Boys, Kid and Play. Yep. Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, MC Light, Queen Latifah,
Ice-T,
PE, and Ice-T. MC Breed was on some of the dates, and so was 357. And that, when I tell you, that was like the hottest tour. No egos. Naughty by Nature was there. Everybody was at their peak, and the new artists like us and Leaders. That was the first time they actually performed Scenario. When I tell you that the crowd was wild, you couldn't beat that momentum, and it was the dopest thing and the dopest experience.
Because my album had just came out. Notorious album had just came out when that tour had started.
Yeah. Wow.
It was. Listen, no egos at the door. Everyone was hanging with each other. They treated everybody with respect.
Yeah.
And that says a lot about also how Chuck moves when it comes
to
galvanizing people and groups together.
Yeah.
You know, and listen, for me, my first time out on a major tour like that, and I was already nervous because I'm like, I'm supposed to be at school. Here I am on tour. That's really good. I'm supposed to be I got games and I'm up here on stage. Supposed to be on the court. It was a beautiful experience, and showmanship was there. Showmanship was there and at the forefront for everyone.
Oh yeah, fun times.
I saw you on the last show of that tour, Pint, in Ridgefield Coliseum in Cleveland. Yep.
Wow.
I was there.
Don't even exist no more.
Nope. It's a empty field now. But yeah, I
Whoa.
saw you guys.
Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't know you guys were on the tour.
Yeah,
Like-
we were opening act.
Yeah, you came out.
And
you guys
we
came
had to
out.
share tour bus with leaders of the new school.
Yeah.
We, it's funny though. Not everybody was on that last show because leaders weren't there. But Tribe was there. I didn't know they were going to be there either. And Ice-T wasn't there.
Right. They had rotated the lineup.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but yeah, Chuck told me, a while back. He goes, "Yeah, that was the last show on that tour." I was like, "Oh, okay." I was there. So
that was I gotta say I loved it. It went and I think we spent every holiday together from Thanksgiving to New Year's.
Right,
Yeah.
on the
And
road.
like I said, there was no egos. Everyone hung with everybody. Everybody watched everybody's show. I used to sit on the side with Ice-T while he critiqued. Like he showed me how to watch the crowd and like read the crowd when it's time to perform. Like I thought it was like the
I want to ask you a
dopest
question. Do
lesson
you
I could ever
remember
learn.
there was a big fight in St. Louis? It was the birthday party, Tretch. And
Yes,
them
I
dudes-
remember.
Yo, we in St. Louis, like St. Louis niggas want their block
That
back. They
was-
were mad. And there's an after party going
The
on.
townies upstairs.
And they wanted to fight. All of a sudden, there was tables and everything thrown. And the police was about to hit Latifah with their baton. And Ice-T cracked the police with the chair, man.
Oh, word.
So the next thing you know,
Word is
I'm gonna
bond.
tell you, the next thing you know, it was all over the news, and all they remember was Ice-T. They didn't say no
Yup.
Chuck, no
It was
Flavor.
looking for him because Cop Killer was
Right.
out at the time.
And
That's
we
what it
left.
was.
We jumped on the bus and left St. Louis, and ISIS never went back to St. Louis because they had a warrant for his arrest.
wow.
But I gotta
Wow.
say, that's how that was the whole mentality and family oriented
Right.
feeling of that tour. Like everybody threw down.
It was
that's
a
how
brawl,
crazy
man.
it was. Everybody was
dudes,
knuckling
man.
up or doing something trying to because we were on when we walked in, the top floor was where the townies were. We were downstairs.
Yep.
And I think it was matter of fact, I think it might have even been Tretch's birthday.
Yeah, it was Tretch's
I
birthday
think it was
party.
it was his birthday. And everybody was chilling, everybody was having a good time. And all of a sudden you just hear some brawling upstairs. And it was on and popping. People was running, everybody was running upstairs, running downstairs. It was a done deal. That's when the village really came to order.
Yeah.
And right after that, we had to go. We had a one-time date in France. Got on a plane, went to France, and then came back and caught the tour the next day, 2 days later.
That's a lot of
And
miles.
shout out to
Yep.
Apache
One
because
show.
Apache was on that tour right before his
Yeah.
album debut.
Yeah, because he was
Oh,
with
wow.
Latifah. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
They had the Flavor
Yeah.
unit rolling with them, too.
Rest
Yes.
in peace, Apache. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the
Shout
beat.
out to and rest in peace, Apache. A
Yeah.
cool brother. A cool
Yeah.
brother.
Yep. Wow. Yeah, well, I'm just thrilled that we finally got this album out. For a minute there, I didn't even know. Emrock could be calling me. He's like, "So is the album actually going to come out? Is it gonna happen?" I think so, as far as I know.
I thought I was gonna wind up in a time
Listen.
capsule somewhere, and
Man,
I
And
caught a
what-
flashback from when we released Son of Berserk's album. When we did it, I did it the summer of before I went back for my sophomore year in college. So I went back to school like, yo, I did a record. They was like, yeah, so what? They was like, no, what's the name of it? I was like, I don't know. They was like, but I was like, I did a record. It was like, yeah, all right. Nobody believed me until it dropped, and I couldn't really, because when you're in the motion of everything, it's like you don't even realize what's going on.
yeah,
And I was trying to explain to them, and I was like, and at this side, I feel like the anticipation of it coming is like you're waiting and waiting and waiting. And everybody's like, yeah, all right, yeah, all right, son.
right, exactly,
And you know what's crazy? Because
I want to see what you got. I want to see what y'all working with.
right.
and I always loved Half Pint's voice within Son
Mm-hmm.
of Berserk. She was like that, just
Yeah,
get the party started. So when I was thinking of an intro on what you're gonna do, I was like, I gotta hit up Half Pint to do this intro and outro for us, the B-boy.
yep.
Just her voice, man.
And it was definitely a privilege and an honor, my brother.
Yes, you dropped it.
Anytime. I appreciate that. I'm just glad I was
Yeah.
able to bring something to the table because that joint
Thank
was
you.
already hot before I got on it. So I appreciate just giving me the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, you're welcome.
Yes, anytime, my brother.
Waiting to get on a Miranda song.
Yes. I feel
looking
more
for that collab with
collaborations
us.
happening.
Right?
Yes. Like the after party of the Grammys where everybody talks about like, let's get together, right?
Yeah,
Let's
no,
get
for
together.
sure.
Let's make this happen.
Well, too, well,
Absolutely.
Donald D, too, you know, I've been on the road, so now I'm back home. It's like,
Yeah, you a trotter. You know.
But
the
now
oldest
I'm back.
basketball team in the world. You down with them?
Yeah, no, we had a lot of fun. It was a fun tour. It was actually one of the shorter tours that I've done with them. It was only 3 months, but even 3 months feels long when it's a new city every day. But it was domestic, so it was like an easier run because I think like being in Europe prior to that, it's like too, like also in Europe, it's like you just want to sightsee, right? It's like everything. I'm like, I have to see everything. I don't care if I don't sleep at all. Whereas domestic, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try and sleep, try, you know. But yeah, but it's weird though too. I always feel like when I'm on the road, I don't actually do a lot of like writing, but I'm just kind of absorbing everything.
You was
And
out
then
there
once I
shooting
come
video.
back, that's when I start creating. It's like I don't know if you guys like agree like or relate to that like after touring, but it's like when you're on the road, you're just so much focused on just being present, but then when you come back, you have so much to talk about.
That is true.
I'll be ready to get back out on the road.
Catch up on sleep.
Sometimes the mood just hit me.
Yeah,
I could be in the most awkward places, and I gotta either write it down, or it's gonna haunt me until I do. So
Right.
it just depends on where I'm at and the mode. And for me, in my head, my life is a sound. Like I hear soundtracks. I just hear music. So it's like
Yes.
I'm like when I'm at work, it's like I want to break out a song and dance. Like, babe. Right? Like I just feel like everything is a musical. So when I hear certain things, I gotta put it down. And sometimes what I hear in my head is not what it sounds like. So I work on that to try to make sure those two things are connected.
I feel that completely. Same thing. It's that I always have an idea of what I want something to sound like, but it's like that creative process of actually creating in line with what you think you want it to sound like, and then you fine tune it, and then when it's right, you know.
Yeah.
When you know,
Right.
you know. But
There
it's a
you go.
process
Right.
to get to that point of feeling like you know, because that's how I am. It's
Right.
like I hear it and I'm like, I know what it should feel like, but it's not just there yet. And then once I got it, I'm like, okay, now this is where I need it to be. So I understand that completely.
That was the story of this album. This entire
Yeah.
album. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, because I got it to a point where I redid everything and I was like, okay, I can live with this. This is pretty good, you know, like things. And I think when it turned back into an Enemy Radio record, I think we were thinking of releasing it independently, and because it had been so long, and so I'm like, okay, you know, this will be what it is. And then Chuck said, hey, he called me the one day and he goes, he hadn't heard anything yet, and he said, yeah, man, I'm thinking the record should be like hard left turns, you know, like songs here and then it goes somewhere else, like, you know, he's like, you know how you do, and I'm like, yeah, kind of, and you know, I'm like, maybe, and he's like, yeah, it's just some really like, you know, Paul's Boutique kind of, you know, craziness, and I'm like, oh man, okay, that's not really what I have right now, but okay, I get what you're saying, and I'm like, I kind of got to a point where I was like, I can't hear this record any other way than what I have it right now. And so I need somebody else. I need somebody else to come in and bring something to the table. And I was as I'm thinking about this, I'm driving to the store to get groceries, and M-Rock had sent me his recent project. And I'm like, oh, I never listened to M-Rock's project. And I put it on, and I was just like, what the hell is this? And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, and then there's a longer version of the story, but right then I'm like, I gotta call M-Rock, and so I can't remember if I talked to you right then or if you were still working and you couldn't talk. If we talked later or what it was, but I kind of pitched the idea to you. I'm just like, I'm gonna send you a song, and I want you to take it, and nothing is sacred, and just destroy it, and then send it back to me, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
That was kind of the plan.
I think your exact words, if I'm remembering correctly, was, I want you to do some DJ shit on this.
Okay. Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, we could do that.
Yeah. So that was, and the first song I sent you was
What Rock Is?
No, it was What Are We to You?
Yeah. That was the first one.
Yeah, it was What Are We to You? And then you sent me a version, and I was like, this is dope. Go further with it. And then you did, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, and then you're like, send me another one. I'm like, okay, I'll send you another one. And that's kind of what it was. And so M-Rock I sent him all the stems, and he just kind of like, I don't know, how did you approach it? I'm very curious to know how you approached what I sent you.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, let me get this out for everybody. On this project, C-Doc is Batman. I'm Robin, and I'm not on every mission. And like, he did the lion's share of the work, and he was the mad genius behind, all the sounds and everything. What I did was, like what you just said, C-Doc, I took what you had, and then I deconstructed it. I added noise, I added hard left turns, I added stuff that didn't make sense, tempo changes, whatever. That was the DJ shit that you asked me to do. So
yes. You did so well. Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Hair Pint's group of the Change the Styles song.
Yeah.
So different twists and turns,
Absolutely.
I love music like that where beats change and it goes into something totally to the left.
Yes.
Unpredictable.
Yeah, and you don't get that anymore. That's why this whole project feels like it's like every song feels like a movie soundtrack.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's cool.
You know what I mean? Like it
That's a
really
great way to put
feels
it.
like I would love to see like a visual album like attached to something like this, because everything feels like a movie soundtrack. But it's true. It's like you don't really get that in music anymore. Usually it all sounds the same because it's like that's the mentality. Like let's get this like lit 20 seconds and get people to latch onto that. So it's a different intention though too, right? When you're creating that way where you don't want it to sound like somebody knows exactly what's coming up. And even when I was like listening to it, because Donald D, he'd sent me the album because he was like, did you hear the whole thing? I was like, no, not yet. Can you send it to me? And I had to really sit on the
leaking
couch.
my
I'm
album,
like, it was
Dawn.
like being...
Thanks a lot.
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding.
But it was, I was like,
He was
wow.
part of
I'm
the
like,
team.
I know. You could have just asked me, Miranda. I would have said it to you.
I'm like, well, I had to go to the plug, but
Oh.
but I was just listening to it, I'm like, wow, like this is really like a movie. I had to almost like forgot that I was like listening to the music for a second because it would just really felt like a movie. I'm like, I could see like visual scenes. Yeah, I just like see like people acting things out while this was all playing. I won't be surprised if a lot of people just find really cool things to put the tracks to, because it feels like that. It feels like a series, honestly.
Well, see,
like a Netflix series.
That's a hint. Come up with a film.
Yeah.
I definitely like the track change.
But
I mean, it wasn't the same. It wasn't.
But I also think that
monotony.
this is the purpose of and the intention of hip hop in itself, to be unpredictable, to continue to change and push the envelope, where the artist is that creative and thinking outside the box, where there's no real boundaries. And again, I think the system wants to create a robot or a kind of a demo of what it should look like for hip hop, where they're dictating a narrative that they don't control and they shouldn't control because it doesn't come from them. But I think with this album and what Spit Slam does in itself is embraces the true artistry and the courageousness of every artist who wants to continue to be authentic and go against the grain.
Yeah.
This album kind of represents that.
I love that.
It does.
Yeah.
I enjoyed everyone on here. Everybody.
What did you say,
Everybody.
Al J? I missed what you said before.
Huh?
I said you said something before. I missed what you said.
Yeah, like it was like different beat change ups. You know what I mean? It wasn't the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like the same track like going. You know what I mean? Chuck will do a little verse, then he'll do another verse. The beat change. Then you know what I mean? He'll drop another. You know what I mean? The beat change.
Let me
And it
tell you
didn't
guys,
even go back to how it started. It just went. You know what I mean?
That was the thing, man. That was a big part of it.
Yo, Carry On is my favorite track too, yo.
Oh, that's got
the unconventionality of the project. The unconventionality of the project. Because it doesn't go. It doesn't do what we hear on the mainstream. It continues to push the envelope of what hip hop was supposed to do. From the political, the social, the economical. And I think so. When you look at a project like this, the title says it all. You know? And I think that with that, it says that real hip hop is still here. You can access it. But yeah, you may have to go, places that you haven't gone before. But it's worth it when you actually decide that that's what you really want. You're not going to buy into the regular schmegular because that's a pseudo form of it. You're going to really grind your teeth into the authenticity of what hip hop is really about. And it's unpredictable, it's unconventional, it's unapologetic, and it's courageous enough for an artist to live in their truth.
Yeah.
But this is part of
deep, didn't I?
Super deep. But see, Doc, this is part of what we keep on talking about, or I keep on talking about the Renaissance.
Of course.
And I really feel like it's going to be the older generation doing what we know and giving it back to the younger generation. Like, all right, it's gone far enough with this. Let's kind of restart it. This is what we're doing. And there's so much creativity. Like just with this album, it's like, as everybody said, it's all over the place, but in a cohesive way, which is like Bomb Squad-ish, Dust Brothers-ish, whatever it is. It's a throwback, but in this time. So it's dope.
And it's needed. It's very needed.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
What were you saying, Emrod?
Oh, I was just gonna say, well, first of all, thank you, Ultramag, because like Dust Brothers and Bomb Squad are definitely big influences for C-Doc and I, and you can hear that in the album. But C-Doc, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't the vision, because this is Enemy Radio, to almost simulate someone who is just going through the channels back and forth, and you get little snippets here and there as they're kind of like dialing around, and that's why it's fragmented, because it's almost like you're in the car just punching through the channels, looking for stuff, and you get those little tidbits, and then you finally land on something for a little bit, and you change the channel again. So it kind of fits into that, and I'm hoping that people like my son. My son loves the album, and he's like, I'm going to listen to it a couple more times because I feel like I'm going to pick up something new every single time I listen to it, because there's so much. So
how old is he?
He is 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely loves it.
Down that trap.
M-Rock, you almost described a road trip.
Right? Yeah.
You described the road trip.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having that movie, a road trip, almost like what is that with Tim Leary going from one part of the coast to the next, the psychedelic trail, where you're just really hearing hardcore, real hip hop.
Yeah.
And you're seeing it from the different perspectives of the artists who are really iconic in preserving the culture in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta also mention that every song on this album has the most amount of tracks I've ever put into any kind of songs. I mean, it's like even the interludes. I think that the interludes have like 10 to 12 like things stacked on top of one
I'm
another.
not surprised.
It's like 50 to 60 on like every song. It's like when M-Rock sent me stuff back and he's like, okay, I'm gonna let you mix it. I'm like, I don't want to mix this.
I'm like, here you go.
Yeah. I wash my hands of this. I'm just like, oh, why?
Many layers of tracks.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So now you know how the Bomb Squad felt mixing the early PE stuff.
There you go.
All that layers of stuff going on, man.
And they didn't even have the equipment that I've got.
Right.
I got it easy. What they did is incredible. It's just
24 track reel.
School way, and they were very meticulous in that. I remember when we did Change the Style. This was the first time I was actually in the studio. We was in Green Street, and Keith had this. Whatever he heard, it was a piano piece, and I want to say he spent maybe a half an hour to an hour on just trying to get that perfect piece in that song. And it wasn't even a large part, but it was just, he felt it was that intricate. And every time I hear the song, I think like, Keith is at the keyboard. Yeah. But it says a lot about the craftsmanship of the music. And that's what this project actually puts us into, and puts me in the mindset of craftsmanship, of loving the music itself, and then the lyrics become part of the instrumentation.
Yes.
And that's what makes it dope.
And what's crazy, because you said about the change of the style, they only had 23 tracks to work with.
Yeah.
So unless they pile stuff on, because you had to use one for the synthy tone. So what they were doing with limited tracks is crazy.
It's crazy.
Amazing.
So
amazing stuff. I do want to. I gotta give a shout to as much of a. I mean, it's a corporate situation, so it's going to be a pain in the ass with paperwork and everything. But I got to give a shout out to Def Jam, because they have been very. There you go. Very, like they were very supportive of the record, and which kind of surprised me, because I thought they might come back and be like, all right, well, where's the premiere beat and where's the Dr. Dre feature and all this stuff, but we gave it to them and they rolled with it. I mean, we did have, as we were talking before the show started, I'll be upfront about it. We had some sample clearance issues, and I tried to be forthcoming and say, okay, well, here's what we sampled and this, that, and the other thing. And then they gave us the bill for the samples, and I'm like, okay, that's not going to work. So
No.
I guess I got to take all those samples out. But I get it. They're a big corporation. They want to avoid loss.
Yeah, with a lot of money, they don't want to clear the sample.
Yeah, I understand. So I'm not mad. We figured out creative ways to get around it.
We just left all the Turtles samples in.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly.
You got the good write-up from Billboard. Did a good write-up about it. So
nice.
Couple of. Oh, I got it. Here's can I give you my favorite review?
All the write-ups have been favorable. I haven't seen a bad one. I've read like 20 of them so far.
You're right. My buddy Steve Anderson sent me this last night when he was first listening to the record. His review is, "Goddamn son, shit." And that's my favorite review of the album.
Enough said.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Say less.
That's a mic drop moment.
Yep. I want to actually make an ad for the album and put that at the top.
Yeah, for sure. Simple and sweet. That's all you need.
Exactly.
I love it.
I think that says everything. Yes. So, but no,
now it would be dope to have an Enemy Radio tour with all of us on that album on the road with Chuck.
Right.
That part right there.
We just put it out.
There you go. That part. I got days. School's almost over.
I'ma be there. I'm off the road to be back on it again.
There you go.
I could take a summer vacation.
Working summer vacation.
Here you go. Listen, when we did the Hip Hop Guys tour, I had just started creating a new program for my young students. and I was working 12 hours. I was a teacher in the daytime with a program, and then I was the administrator in the evening for the alternative. I ran that from the road. 2 weeks that we were on the Hip Hop Gods tour, and my kids continue to flourish.
Too
You
tough.
got a good staff,
Too tough.
everything falls into place.
Yeah. Yep. There he is.
Too tough.
Philly
Good
song.
evening.
My
Good
DJ,
evening,
my
gentlemen.
DJ.
Mhm.
The legendary, extraordinary.
Salute.
What's going on, guys? Congratulations, Phil, on the album drop. Also, congratulations, Chuck, for the also the album drop. So it's good to be part of it. Sorry for being late.
It's all right. It's all
That's
good.
awesome.
You come on, man. You always got a home here. Come on.
Yeah, I'm working furiously behind the scenes, so we're gonna drop something soon. Month and a half, something like that.
I love it. I love it. So Too Tough. What did you finally get to listen to the Enemy Radio record?
I did. But my joint that I did on there, Black Don't Dead, we did that a while ago. So
I know we did. Yeah.
That's
what that was part of the story, that we did a lot of this a while ago.
Yeah, but it's cool though. It's cool. One thing we learned from what Chuck said at the last meeting was we need to rebrand stuff that we already released, because all of the shit that we release is an NFT, bro. It's not like nobody else can do it. It hasn't played out because a lot of people haven't really even heard it yet.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So it's always good for all of us to have a catalog and share in between each, artist to artist and stuff like that. It's really good for me to be part of Chill, Rob G, Phil Moose, Chill, Ultra Mag. We had a great time shooting the video and everything. I was surprised that I made it to the Phil Moose Chill video. So I was like, yeah, over there digging through the crates and shit.
Yep.
I love that.
It's always a pleasure to be on here and bring good energy to y'all fellas, man.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, you just mentioned a very important part of this. One of my other goals with this record was to showcase, what we have as Spitslam, showcase you guys as artists, and, hopefully it will help, just give everybody a little bit of push. So if somebody is like, oh, Donald D still making music? Okay, who's this DJ M-Rock guy? Oh, Miranda Wrights, I don't know her. They'll come check out the other stuff. Fingers crossed, best case scenario. That's what happens. And then also, ladies and gentlemen, here's Flatline coming to join us. So
Flatline.
Yeah.
Flatline.
Bro.
Good evening, all.
What's on?
What's good?
Washington, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Did you get some food? I hope.
Got some food. Yeah, I'm all set. I'm here for a bit.
Yeah, okay.
So like I'm on an episode of C-Doc again.
Well,
Where's Jenny at?
Yeah.
Where's Jennifer at?
Yeah, where's Jennifer at?
I don't know. She must be busy.
Jennifer
She's probably getting attacked
Man,
by
the
Stewie
Knicks
P.
is killing Boston.
What's the score right now?
Come on, really?
They up almost.
You want to have that conversation right now?
Points.
What's the score, Don?
Oh man,
You don't want to hurt Al's feelings. He get.
it is what it is, man.
Sorry, go Nets.
Yeah, the Subway series was today, right?
Man.
Mm.
So, but yes, Ultra Bag. Yeah, I've heard nothing but great stuff. The feedback
reviews?
I've seen so far. So
Yeah, listen, bro. Listen, as Miranda was saying, I've been going on my own little press tour. I'm like, look, I got these little 8-10 bars. I'm like, yo, I'm acting like like it's my record. So,
and you should as well.
Listen,
you should.
No, I ain't mad, yo. Go
listen,
ahead.
I swear.
That's
my
right.
home-
Own that. Own that.
I ain't mad, yo.
My homegirl lives in Canada. I said, okay, look, you're going to interview me this morning, and it's going to be some foreign press situation. You're going to ask me about me being in this album. You saw it. I did a live on Instagram. It's on my page. If y'all want to go see it, But I've read I've been reading reviews since the single came out. Now the full album's out, so we get the full reviews. But everything's been favorable. I haven't seen anything like negative. So I'm like, yo, this is like a tide turning type album, and I think if when people listen to it, it's different than anything that's out there.
Yeah.
And it's obviously it's Chuck, he's the anchor, you guys with the beats, and I think it's something special. When people dig in, it's something special.
Yeah. I think he texted me earlier. He had a busy day. He said it was a great busy day. So
Yeah, he was doing the signing in the city, right?
yeah. He was at the Rough Trade store in Manhattan, and I think he did the Wake Up show this morning. I think.
Okay.
I think that was this morning. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So I think so, but I'm not sure.
He was supposed to, yeah.
He was supposed to, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. I haven't heard it yet. And by the time I turned it on, they had another guest on. So I'm guessing he was earlier. I missed it. And then they started playing music, so I turned it off. Because I'm like, what is this? I'm so out of touch with what they play. I'm like, I have no idea what this is. So.
Yeah, don't feel bad, Steve. You ain't the only one. You ain't the only one.
Yeah. I'd
rather listen to my playlist over and over again and listen to the radio.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Ultra Mac, I like the video you put together with the interview with Sparky that you sent me on Instagram.
Listen, brother.
When she talked about all of us living together in LA, her and Nikki D and me.
Yeah.
And how Nikki left to go to, because Nikki was originally with us with the Syndicate, and then she left and went to New York and joined Def Jam.
Right. Well, when I had my interview this morning about the album,
right,
I talked about when I first met you, when I met you in LA after your man Melly Mel dissed me. So I came to you and me and you.
I don't remember that story.
I was on tour with Princess Superstar. We did a show at the El Rey, and we did it with
Superstar. I'm trying to remember. I met her, I think, through Kool Keith.
It was a Kool Keith show. Kool Keith was on the album. We were in LA. We shot the video with him. We did the show, and when I came out, I saw Melly Mel. So I'm like, "Yo, Mel, thank you for everything." This
street man.
Yeah, he looked me up and down like I owed him money, and then Princess Superstar was talking to you in the corner, and I'm like, you don't even know who this is. I'm like 2-3 Break, Entertainment Records, the B-Boys Girls, and you was like, so we met that way. So that was like 20, 24, 25 years ago.
Yeah. Long time ago.
Yeah, long time ago.
Brother Yusef.
Yep, Yusef.
Yay.
Yusef.
Black Dean in the house.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.
Oh, I had to hop on real quick. I'm pressed for time, but peace to everybody. Congratulations to everybody. Everybody came off. Going to the store, buying the physical was, I mean, that was the best part of the day, ripping open the plastic, reading it.
The credits.
So, I just wanted to thank everybody, especially you, C-Doc. I mean, it's a good day. It's a good day. Alhamdulillah. Maybe not for the Celtics, but for everybody else up here.
Don't call it a comeback. Yeah.
Y'all better leave the Celtics alone tonight, man. All right.
Hey, man. Give New York something good to feel good about.
We'll be all right.
Yeah, we will. I suppose.
Yusef, thank you for
and then go lose to Indiana or something. But, no, it's a great record.
No, I was gonna say thank you for posting pictures because I actually went to a couple spots in Pittsburgh today and couldn't find it. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I jacked them too. Thank you, brother.
I went up to Salem, New Hampshire, and they had it. They didn't have the vinyl yet. But that made it easy for me to decide which to get. So, but yeah, I needed to have something in my hand today. So,
the physical.
Again, congrats to everybody. Everybody came off on the mic. Everybody came off on the cuts, the beats. Just a dope hip hop album, and honored to be a part of it. Humbled.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you, guys. You guys are always reliable. I can always count on Black Medine.
Yes, most consistent.
What was that?
No, I was gonna say I can always count on you guys. You got, your latest album is called "When All Else Fails," and ain't that?
Oh, no doubt. Our
yeah,
pens
man.
are always, our hands are always
Stop
hot. So.
Yep, most definitely.
Definitely.
Well, yeah, thanks for swinging.
But yeah, I gotta hop off. I want to salute everybody who's on here, especially the legends like Donald D and Too Tough, and then those I haven't been able to chop it up with before.
Word up.
But and my man LJ, of course. But word up. And Chuck's coming to Boston in a few days, right? Next week.
Yes. PE is playing on the 25th. Yeah. I think the 25th. I think that's what it is. Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yep.
Very good to know.
Word.
Your friendly neighborhood C-Doc might be there too, maybe.
All right, yeah. Well,
There
your
you
friendly
go.
neighborhood LJ from around the way is going to be there too.
Okay. All right. All right. So yeah, there was talk of it. I don't know. We'll see.
When is LJ's album coming out? He's still there?
That's gonna be coming out sooner than later. But the single, that's gonna we just like mixed it, so we're gonna master that, and then that's gonna be out within maybe a couple months.
What's the single?
Single Stick Up Kids. We were like working on the artwork now and everything.
Go.
We're gonna like run it all by you and everything.
I love my verse actually that I put on there. At first I was like,
I do too.
I did it, and then I was like, it's sloppy. I got to redo it.
Nah, I do too.
And I had to flip it. Instead of saying Stick Up Kid, I just called it Kid Stick Up.
Okay, it's all good, man.
It kind of went back to how we rhyme with the B-boys, with the wordplay, the names. Because Ice-T always told me I was the greatest MC to rap other people's names and make them rhyme. You know?
I just was happy that you was on the song with me, man. Like I said, at first I thought you was gonna be like, wait a minute, what's he doing? You know what I mean? Thought he was gonna start illin', but you got on the track, man. I greatly appreciated that, man. And I can't wait.
We got some work to do because I want to finish Too Tough joint with that super sperm sample. I love that joint, man.
Yeah, let's go.
You know,
let's go. I'm glad you chose a Philly classic. It was a DJ from Philly named DJ Spinbag.
Yeah.
Wow.
I heard Cash Money talking about him.
Yeah, the way that we learned in Philly before YouTube was from these series of tapes that went around. That was from the Wynn Ballroom. Some was from Central High. Some was from Woodrow Wilson. Some was from Overbrook. And I videotape. So I kind of like had a head start on everybody else because I had an actual VHS of Kev cutting and all that. So it's great to tap back in and touch on some of the stuff that influenced me early on, you know, because you had to buy it on wax then, and that means you had and the other DJ ain't want to let you know the name of what that John was. He'll scribble it out with a magic marker so that other DJs couldn't see it and all that. You know what I mean?
Some tape over it. Yeah.
It's an honor to be busting it up with you, bro. Peace and love, blessings to you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I always think about my first time ever performing in Philly with Schoolie D, the B-boys. I think Lady B brought us out there.
Yeah.
When we had
Lady
Girls hot.
Girls was huge.
85.
Girls was huge in Philly.
Girls wasn't supposed to be a song. When I think about it, Stick Up Kid was supposed to be it. And Vincent had a friend, Millie, came up to the office, and I started rhyming about no girl named Millie, comes from Philly.
That's what did
Vince
it.
loved it. He said, you need to go home and write a whole song talking about different girls, and that's how it started.
There's no secret that she spoke
that's
Philly.
Chuck D said the B-side won again, man.
Yeah.
We got on tour in 85 with that song with Dougie Fresh, Slick, Sparky, Boogie Boys, the Bad Boys.
Well, we was playing Rock the House and like Cutting Herbie and 2-3 Break like that. All that stuff was already playing. That was playing.
Yeah.
We was on the B-boys early.
Well, I always wanted to be on Celluloid Records, but I had a 2-year wait to make some records, so Entertainment beat them to the punch.
And the rest is history.
History, yeah.
Yep.
I got two quick stories. One is there was a record producing plant called Disc Makers in Philly, and it used to be on 3rd and Poplar next to a bread store. We used to dumpster dive in Disc Makers, and we found the 2-3 brake joints in there. Now they was warped, but we took them home and sat something heavy on top of them so we could strip out, and we used them joints to cut early on. Then I was in Helma, Netherlands at a festival called Urban Matters, where they brought me over there to rhyme for the first time, because now I became a rapper. I transitioned into a rapper because I've seen a lot of other dudes that I think I can outdo. So I got an idea in my head and started moving towards that situation. But I was there with Sparky D, and she had Newports, and you can't get Newports overseas. Right. So I was right on Sparky, like, you know what I mean? That's my best friend. But I really did get to know Sparky D really well. I was smoking up all her Newports, you know what I mean? When it got down to the last 3, she was like, no, I got none left.
Newport cigarettes.
Stealing Sparky D's Newports.
I talked with Sparky D about recovery, about coming back from the mud, about addiction, and a lot of other enlightened me. And I had really good conversations with her over there because we had extra.
I have it muted right now.
Her documentary is incredible.
Festival, so we really did have a good time, and I never met her before that. It's an honor. So y'all talking up Sparky D. I know she feeling a little tickle. She's like,
Tough. Tell your boy Hans to book the B-boys on this Urban Matters.
She itching her hand right now.
You know.
Shout out to Sparky D.
Yeah, real one.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sparky D.
So Miranda, are you working on something now that you're back home?
Yeah, actually, I'm getting ready to release a new single next week. Next Friday. Yeah, it was something that I was excited to put out. We filmed for it last week, and it's called That Girl. Excited about it, and so I wanted to make sure that I still spaced it out because I was hype about this release with Chuck. So it was like, I gotta be posting this every day for like 7 days straight. But yeah.
That girl.
But yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited about it. So
dope.
Congratulations on the release.
Yeah.
Good money.
Yeah.
Thank
Miranda
you.
stayed working, doing stuff. She was making all these videos while she was in Europe. You know.
Yeah, well, I released my album. So I released my album Dope in Real Life last January it was, and then I went on tour with the Globetrotters. So I basically just used like every country that I was in, I would do like first time rapping in, and it just, was basically an ongoing series, but I utilized the songs that I had in my album. So it was like a cool way to cross over promotion because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to like normally film the way that I want to film. And I'm like, I don't have to film anything. I'm in Europe, So it was cool. We did just like, we hit up like, your landmarks, your cool coffee shops, and just different spots in the city. It was like a fun way to put that album together. For sure.
That's dope.
And Pint, I know you were talking, you've been working on some things, huh? A little bit here and there.
Yes, we last July we dropped myself and Glamorous, MC Glamorous dropped 2 Queens and a Mic. We pushed that out. And I'm working on my, my solo stuff. I plan on singing. I know y'all don't think that I can sing, but
sing. Do your thing. I'm pretty sure it's better than all these singers that sing today.
The brothers don't be thinking I can sing. So I said, if Rihanna could do it, then I could do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I'm definitely working on a solo project. I had the honor of working with Donald D. I did some features with Blackbird Project, 115th Street. They're a group from London. In 2020, I dropped my first one of my first singles called Real Hip Hop. So, I've been just trying to grind at the same time, balance that and, my regular 9 to 5, I can't even say it's 9 to 5, it's 7:30 to 7:30.
Right.
what I love about hip hop is that as people try to put boundaries on it and labels on it, it is ageless. And those that I'm so proud of what we see with the sisters who are still putting in the grind and making things happen on their own terms.
Yeah.
And what we see with Rock the Bells and Spit Slam and all these authentic hip hop record labels, and want to put down all the icons who can't get that mainstream because they're trying to create something that really does not define who we are and mirror who we are. So what I love about what we're doing and what Chuck is doing and C-Doc you're doing on the Spit Slam is that you're allowing us to really continue to push the envelope on our own terms and be who we are and keep real hip hop alive. And,
like how we did it back in the days before the industry
absolutely. Before commercialism even came into the picture, it was about presentation. It was about love of self. It was about knowledge of self. It was about love of a culture, of people, of humanity. And that's what that's what I love about Spit Slam, and that's what I love about the artists that are on it. Authenticity. And it's not easy when you want to stay on that ledge on your own to try to really be who you are and be courageous enough to do that, because everybody has that. There are people that have that group think mentality. So I definitely appreciate all the artists who continue to walk in and create music in their own truth. I love it, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yep.
Thank
you. Definitely.
And I'm working on my album too. Celebrate. It's called Celebrate. I need some beats. I'm trying to do a double album. I already got a bunch of songs. I'm looking for more songs. Maybe
Donald, don't do a double album. Just do 2 albums, bro.
Well, that too. Celebrate part 1 and 2.
Yeah, there you go.
I want to have double vinyl. Probably get some of them 114 BPM M-Rock style beats.
There you go.
You got it. Coming up.
That's why when I did the joint on His, I love that tempo. I was like, man, it made me, go back into when I did Rage of the Rap Renegade, stuff like that.
Wow, something got really loud all of a sudden.
Wow, what's going on?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it sounds like
No sound.
Okay.
Oh, is that Al J?
I don't know.
It's the enemy radio. That's the enemy radio.
So enemy radio.
I thought that was like an intro.
right?
That was an interlude.
It's enemy radio.
I think it's Al J. Yeah, it was Al J. Okay.
Oh, and we wait for the new B-Boy single to come out. Whenever C-Doc get that video out.
Yeah.
Tell that to Brother B, because he's the nag. He be like, come on, man.
I already talked to Fred. Yeah, I talked to him about it. I was like, and he's like, okay, I understand. I got you. I was like, I haven't forgotten. It's just put it in the queue somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a lot of video components to finish for this Enemy Radio project. I was hoping to get out Black Don't Dead today, but wasn't quite in the cards. So stay tuned for that. And there's more pieces of that puzzle coming. So Miranda, as you were saying, you're like kind of hoping there'd be a film sort of thing. Kinda will be, sort of, sort of.
Let's go.
So we'll see.
I'm black.
Let me know when you need me. I'll be there.
Okay. All right.
There you go. That part.
We will figure it out. Yep. Because we shot a lot of footage. Just gotta get it all together. Donald, we got Donald's stuff.
Yep. I shot mine the same day as Daddy-O shot his. The day before, all the guys in Philly shot theirs, right?
Yep. We got Ultras. We got Phil's.
Yeah.
Yeah, but two toughs on Black Don't Dead, so we got his footage doing the cuts. So
what a day that was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had fun. That was the day we was talking about Too Bright, man. Y'all made Too Bright become world famous that day.
Yeah.
Too Bright.
Shout out to Grizzly.
You gotta watch the video on YouTube to know what we're talking about. Go check out Too Bright.
Yeah. That was cool. That was fun.
It was all in North Philly.
Get y'all to come down to my hood where I grew up at, because I lived only a few blocks away from there. It's a different tour I could take y'all on. Even though we went to the benches and all that, where Tough Crew, like we actually sat there and wrote. I watched them write rhymes, and those rhymes that we wrote on them benches became those classic Tough Crew albums. And even I'm still a fan of my own group. I'm a fan because I get feared up about trying to match up to that old legendary shit that y'all know me for. When I make a new album for Chuck and Spit Slam, man, I'm trying to compete with myself from '89. I'm like, yo, this shit about to be rough. You know, the me versus me, you know, the whole me versus me album thing. Yep.
Spy versus spy.
It's like the gift and the curse, me versus me. Now you aware. So I gotta go bigger and better. I'm battling perfectionism. I'm trying to be on the Grammys with Chuck, bro, like real rap. Like that's what we do. That's what I'm doing it for. And so I might be pushing the pedal to the gas, and other people might have regular jobs. So I gotta work within the framework of if I'm in a group called Tough Crew and there's 3 other members, we get more money as a group, Tough Crew, than it would be if it's just me, Too Tough. And I do the same scratches. But because, you know, 3 other original members are in there, it's sort of like Public Enemy and, you know, Chuck and Flav.
Yeah.
It got a nostalgic, you ain't going to get it from nowhere else. It's like got a fingerprint. And I'm grateful for these moments. You know what I mean? Like being clean. And I feel like I'm doing an interview right now, but I just want to let y'all know it's been an extraordinary journey, because I had just started, you know, discovering a new way of thinking. And then Chuck, I got an email from Spit Slam. Chuck D is looking for X, Y, and Z to put together an album called Revenge of the DJ. Oh shit. So it all started there. And I just wanted to say thanks in front of all of the artists on here to show that, you know, y'all inspired me to chase stuff. And then we see each other on Instagram and we, you know, we help each other out. So if y'all follow me on Instagram, my joint is at DJTOOTUFF. Follow me, ladies. And so we put together an all-female.
I'm doing it right now.
All right.
All-female joint. We're coming out.
You said on Instagram?
Ladies First 2025. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you know what's crazy?
I got you, bro.
DJTOOTUFF. Thanks, y'all.
I tried to, you know, Tough. You know what? And that sounds dope to do a project like that, because I tried to do like something like that a few years ago, where I had it was called Roll Call, where it was just going to be the female from all the different eras of hip hop, where I got verses from Kimber from the Infinity, Sha Rock had laced something, I had got something from Shantae and Lisa Lee. So, and I wanted, I could still use those verses. Maybe we could use that and do what you want to do and get Miranda in on it.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Just all the women of the history of hip hop. I don't know. We get most of this generation, like say Meg and them, and it might be too costly. But just say some of the unsung heroes.
It's a chick Philly named Rocky. On Instagram, it's called Fake Bitches Hero. Rocky, the top female MC in Philly. She like a female ARAB, you know what I mean? But she got a lot of songs. And then it's another. Yeah, I got some female Philly connects, and I know y'all already on board right here. We all on.
Yeah, we got it.
There you go.
Hey, C-Doc, can we get confirmation, since we're all here, that when you know what I'm going with this, since we're in Philly.
About the suspects?
Yeah. So Phil's still here, but I want to make sure.
I think he is.
Yeah, because it was. Listen, it was.
I heard my name.
Yeah.
Okay. It's supposed to be me, C-Doc, and Phil, and you.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure everybody's on board. We're doing this because y'all gonna make me come out of retirement.
I got enough beats to let you. I'm ready. Just send me an email and I'll send you 4.
All right.
I'll send you 4 so you can go ahead and write to it.
There you go.
I got y'all on, you know, because I'll make a video out of this and shame you if you lied to me.
But look, you get the beats now because you told me that you was always an honorary member of Tough Crew when I came, and I see you quite knowledgeable about behind the scenes shit like Kick the Ball and Crown Rulers and High and the Mighty and stuff like that. So you inspired me to dig deeper into the hip hop, unknown parts and try to disclose some stuff that people will be like, oh shit, I didn't know that.
Bro, when we went high school, obviously, Choke was our DJ. We had a group in high school, and he had the Tough Crew glossies. Whenever he would do shows, he put them at the end of his DJ table. We'd be like, yo, I'm part of the Tough Crew. I'm down with the Tough Crew. So I'm like, I'm not in this picture, but I'm in the Tough Crew. So
that's mad love
I
because
remember.
It was a whole set of extra boys when the group broke up and me and Tone left. It was a whole extra set of people that became members of Tough Crew. It was like a sought after position, I guess. I don't know. But a lot of people showed up to fill those roles. And it was part of the history. So I was in jail and my man caught the boy Smooth K and brought him to me in a headlock. Like, yo, you know this boy right here? I was like, what? Who is this boy? He talking about Smooth K. He said he part of Tough Crew. I said, you can let him out the headlock. Let me just talk to him for a minute.
Smooth K was the man who got me to stop eating pork back in 1988.
The last time I seen Smooth K was in a headlock in the House of Correction.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
Well, there it is. There's the confirmation. Too Tough.
Okay.
Phil Most. There we
good.
go. We're good.
We good.
Where's M-Rock? Where you live at, M?
I am in the Chicagoland area, as they would say. So I'm in a suburb of Chicago.
Stuffed pizza.
King M-Rock.
Oh, I know the pizza.
So which pizza is better, New York or Chicago?
Oh, New York, hands down.
Okay.
It's different kinds of pizza. You can't do that.
Yeah. I want a big greasy triangle that I gotta like fold to eat. That's pizza.
So Miranda, you've been in Italy. So how did you like the pizza there?
Amazing. But their pizza's different though, so it's not as thick. It's more like thin crust style.
That's what I like. I like the thin.
Yeah, it's heavier on the sauce, but the sauce is so good. And it's and like they kind of use like almost like patches of cheese versus like a full covered slice.
A whole bunch.
Yeah. The pasta, that's all I did was eat pasta. But the difference is you can eat pasta every single day in Italy and not see it. You eat a pasta every single day in the States, then you have a problem.
Yeah. That's what I learned living in Italy all these years.
No, but it's true. But I love the pizza out there. That's all I did was have pizza and pasta and a lot of seafood. The seafood was so good.
It's all healthy. It's really healthy.
Yo, Donald, you know what I couldn't stop? My wife and I couldn't stop. Every day we get gelato.
Really?
Oh yes.
God, man.
Yes, you're right. The gelato's amazing.
Gelato.
Well, whenever y'all guys are in Italy, y'all welcome to come to my crib and we'll cook you some homegrown Italian food over there.
Okay, cool. I'll be there tomorrow.
If you're in Florence, that's where I live in Florence. So
I'll be out there right now.
I'll be out there in August.
Okay.
Oh, Too Tough. Tell Hans he needs to book the B-Boys. He fronted on me for 7 years. I never done Urban Matters, man. And I see they're already starting to book artists for it.
Well, it's the 2026, John. I'll definitely tell him that you hollered at me.
And he always tell me, next year. So now I'll be in Italy in September.
That's good. That's good. This year they got JVC for us, so I'm not.
I saw that.
I'm not going over there this year, and that's my man. I look at him like my step pop or something, because he took me by the hand to introduce me to people throughout Europe that led directly to a ultramagnetic tour situation just by these. And I was, but I also know that he's a promoter and he's not doing it for free. Although that Urban Matters situation is a nonprofit, that goes through a couple different people. I'm sure it would be honored to have you on there. The 10th anniversary of Urban Matters is next year, 2026.
Wow.
So I'm gonna just holler at him because he was asking me to find Naughty by Nature. He was asking me to first he was asking to reach out to Chuck,
but actually Tretch is gonna be on this new Celebrate album.
if you could holler at him, and maybe you and Tretch can go over there this year. I think it's September 8th or something like that. September 11th. I can send you the flyer.
Okay.
Or just take my number and I'll text message you this. That way we could go ahead and get 2 more done behind the scenes. They ain't even gonna know we building 2.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna get Rakim on this album too. I talked to Rod when he was in Maryland, and he's down to do a joint.
I did a show with Rakim 2 years ago, and we went in Rakim's dressing room before he was in the dressing room, and we took pictures with his Moet bottle, and we put at the top. We put at the top, doing it without the R.
Yeah. That's cool.
We love Rakim, but you know when he came in, he come with the FOI board, so you clearing your ass out of there after that. So if you was in there doing some shenanigans before Rakim got there, cool. But when Rod get there, you know we moved out the way. Shit, we ain't stupid. We got respect. We was just in there breathing in the atmosphere of Rakim dressing room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
Yeah, I love hip hop. I have fun with it, bro. Real
hip hop has connected the world more than any other genre of music ever.
Absolutely.
When you think about what it has done from innocent stuff we did back in the streets of New York to where it is now.
You one of my rap superheroes.
It is truly the rose that grew from the concrete.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Rap superhero.
It is the rose that grew from the concrete.
Thank you, Tuta.
You're welcome, big bro. I mean that. And you still doing it. That's because God gave you another chance to wake up this morning, right?
Yeah.
So if he woke you up, we can complain about the problems, or we could focus on what we're gonna do with the music. Because you was given a gift that's Donald D, not by accident.
Yeah.
None of this shit. Any rapper, or any DJ on here, rapper, record label owner, none of this is by accident, bro. Everybody is here because it's a journey along the path, right?
Yeah.
I'm not crazy. I see a little bit different. So to inspire myself to make a good album that I think will impress Chuck D, because I'm feared up. I'm feared up making the album. I gotta give it to Chuck.
Right.
I use the fear to my advantage, and then you know what I mean. I turn that motherfucker on.
That's your instrument right there.
Me up this joint every day, you know what I mean? So that's for any artist. Be creative and don't get caught up in the perfectionism like I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still get it done, but it takes me a lot longer when I'm battling myself.
That's a battle well fought, bro.
I think all creatives go through that though too, because I
yeah.
feel like the way that we think is just different. Like everything we do is just different, and like I always say, it's like because we think so much, it's easy to like be in your own head because you're like creating while you're perfecting, while you're putting it out, and then also that sense of self is also different than how other people may hear or perceive it. So there's a lot of different layers, and I really think it's like, like you said, like finding almost that middle ground between all of that, and that's a spot that feels good. But it's like, there's a lot of different emotions, I feel like, when it comes to putting things together, because it's real, it's us, like you can't make that up.
Vulnerability.
That's
exactly.
Vulnerability.
And don't be a Virgo.
I'm a Virgo. Something about Virgo.
That's the perfection. I'm a Virgo too. That's the perfectionism. It's crazy.
And
I'm a Libra, but I'm like that too.
Our toughest critic.
And I'm Aquarius, and I'm like that too.
I think we're all like that.
All right, everybody. Now everybody has to say their sign, because now I'm like, I heard of one Virgo, one Aquarius. Now I'm
a Leo. I'm a Leo.
That makes sense. Okay. Taurus, you said?
Yeah, Taurus.
Okay.
There you go, right?
Yep. I'm a Capricorn.
Being able to identify your zodiac sign said a lot about who you were.
What's
and
your
how
zodiac
you
sign?
moved.
Yeah.
That's right.
Whoop, there it is. Voodoo Scratch
All
Capricorn.
right, we're missing flat lines
Capricorn
and two toughs. They didn't say theirs yet.
No, Two Tough said his.
Yeah,
Two
Two
Tough's
Tough's
a
a
Virgo.
Virgo.
Yeah,
Oh, he's a Virgo too. Oh.
For victory.
Yep.
Okay. The Virgo and Libra energy is kind of similar though. Like we're different, but we have similar characteristics. Now you know why I know you were able to put this together, C-Doc, is because you're a Capricorn. Because Capricorns that are good at running the show.
So I've heard, yes.
You guys like things a certain way, but you execute, you get shit done.
Yep, that's it.
HWIC.
Funny.
Yep, that's it. Yeah. I mean, it's funny, Miranda. My parents had a book about an astrology book like in their library or whatever growing up, and I found it one day. I was like, oh, okay, I'll look this up, and I was reading stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, that's me. Like, it's really accurate. So like one or two things, I was like, okay, that's not really me, because it was like something about, I forget what it was, but I'm like, that's not really me, but I think it's me now. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, oh god, the accuracy. I'm like, how does this book know this? What kind of sorcery is this?
Stars.
Sorcery is.
Yeah. Well, so wait, flatline. You didn't say what?
Yeah, Cancer.
Oh, Cancer. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
I like Cancers. I have a few good friends that are Cancers, actually.
That's why we don't get along.
There it is. Oh, Ultra.
But yeah,
I love it. I've had so much fun chatting with you guys. Thank you guys.
Yeah, this was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, thank you.
You know?
Absolutely.
Hey, let me tell you real quick. No, I was just gonna say, after the best part of doing my show is after the show, because Ultramag and Flatline going back. It's a riot,
Okay.
We have
love
fun.
Love these guys.
My
Love these
Triscuits
guys.
and cheese.
Triscuits and cheese, and yes, yeah.
Two legends.
And Jennifer gets all mad. He's like, "Oh, he brought out the crackers again." So, but yeah, this is the post game material nobody gets to see. Anyway, I do want to say though, I want to thank everybody for being involved in this project, and I want to thank, even though he's not here, I want to thank Chuck for having the faith in me to pull all this together, because honestly, he's a legend. He was my hero growing up, and he gives me a lot of leeway, man. This record was it's his record, but it's very much my record too, because I did a lot, and I got to oversee like every detail, which is crazy that he would entrust that to me. So I'm honored, but I'm also honored that all you guys have been supportive and helped out and helped bring it to fruition, because 14-year-old me is freaking out all the time about all this shit. It's just like, he's like,
it definitely was an honor.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, thank you for lending your talent and giving me the opportunity to be a part of it. And just like I said, it's like, seeing the new faces on here tonight, but it already feels like family. And there's just so much talent in one room, and I'm excited. I'm excited for the world to keep hearing what it is that we already put out, but I'm also excited about what it is that we can create. So thank you to each and every one of you, and I'm appreciative of the opportunity, and like literally just happy to be here. So thank you.
I agree with Miranda. It definitely is an honor, and I take nothing for granted. I love hip hop, and I love to be a part of a project that with people who love hip hop as well. It's definitely been an honor. Thank you for considering me and thinking I could bring something to the project. It's just an honor. And anytime I get an opportunity to be able to express myself through music and hip hop, it's an honor. Trust me when I tell you that.
The question is, when y'all gonna do another Son of Berserk album?
We are working on that, my brother. Trust and believe. We are definitely working on that. Matter of fact,
Okay, that's what I want to
Berserk in the
hear.
studio on Tuesday. We got about 3 or 4 songs down. We got it. Berserk will be going in the studio on Tuesday to do some work. So we are definitely working on that. Definitely.
Yay!
Hey, Pi, do you guys still have like stuff that you did with Ja before you passed?
Yes, that's what we're working on. The stuff that we were doing with Juice before Ja passed. So we're having that, we're just tweaking some things. And then we got a couple of more songs. We got Daddy Roy's coming back, you know, to feature on some songs. So we're just really trying to
you said
really connect all the dots to really go back to that essence. And we also we're working on a documentary at the same time. So hopefully we'll be able to release both at the same time. You know,
yeah, that's fine.
I'm currently, you know, I'm in the midst of all of this and working on my solo project and the documentary. You know, again, school is almost over, but summer school is here, and I don't usually sleep till August. So I'm ready for any piece of work that you guys want to put down. Let's get it. As you know, I also created a curriculum on the history of hip hop from a sociology perspective, talking about the economic, social, political, you know, empowerment that hip hop is and pathways hip hop has opened up for culture. And then I just finished last year. I was part of an organization where we wrote Black history curriculum for the New York City schools that they're rolling out. So I'm really just in that creative mode, and I'm loving every aspect of what I'm doing because hip hop is always at the core of all of that. And to continue to, like I said, to get on a project like this, it's just like full circle, like Miranda was saying earlier about full circle, the love of the culture and being able to respect it and, you know, make sure I'm empowering those who don't know and also opening the door and bridging the gap between those who are coming into the game, but those who have already so been to the game. So
yes,
queen.
Yep. Yep.
Thank you, my sister. You are a queen too, and I appreciate you. And like I said, we're gonna link up. We definitely gonna link
for
up.
sure.
You heard
Yeah,
that, C-Dot. Everybody heard that. We're gonna link up.
Let's do it. I'm down for sure.
That's what I love to hear. That's what I love to hear.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep. All right. Well, I think go ahead, Don. What were you saying?
No, C-Doc, you will send me Tuff's number.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Well, I'm about to follow everybody who I haven't already followed while I was like trying to do it while I'm using my phone.
Send me everybody's numbers.
Yeah,
come on, Donald.
You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. We on that group chat. So I think I got some people already together based on what they said. But listen, you got my number, hit me up. Let's make these things happen.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys. Much love. I appreciate this for real.
Yeah.
Yes, salute.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
All right.
Peace.
Salute hip hop gods and goddesses.
I'm gonna play the outro.
The next one.
The next one.